What's up, people of YouTube? I'm here to give you guys an unboxing slash overview of the Canon Vixia HF G30. Also some accessories I picked up, like the extra battery capacity and the memory card that I got running for this bad boy, and I'll also be picking up another memory card in the future. So to hop right into this unboxing, I gotta tell you guys right off the bat, when I first took this camera out the box, I knew that I had something that was way better than the G10, because I'm coming from the G10. I had the G10, I skipped the G20. The G20 was looking kind of sexy, but you know, it had a minor changes like the eye cup and the lens cap that has a little flippy hood thing that you can cover the lens with instead of using the standard cap that it came with. Also, the G30 also utilizes that lens hood that has the little flip down lens cap or door that covers up your lens, and I like it. I love it a lot. But taking this bad boy out the box, man, the size of it, you know, is more bigger than the G10 and G20. When I take it out the plastic wrapping, the texture of the whole camera feels ultra premium. Every single button, every single inch of the camera that I touched feels way amazing. In fact, it makes the G10 feel like a toy. Like, it makes it feel like it's cheap compared to the G30. I gotta say, I'm happy with my purchase because, you know, everything, even when you pull out the eye cup to look through the electronic viewfinder, it feels ultra premium compared to the other camera. I don't know about the G20 because the G20, I haven't used that one, but I know for a fact it even feels 2 to 4 times better than the G20. Even when you put your hand inside the hand grip to hold the camera, it just feels ultra premium. It feels like you really that is a premium product. If it don't feel cheap. Even down to the OLED HD screen. The touch screen is real good, responsive. It looks amazing, you know, real crisp. Even down to the quality of the video, man. I recorded some video just to mess around. Even my car vlog that I did, telling you guys that I'm back doing my life vlogs and stuff like that. I looked at that video on my Mac. It looked amazing. Speaking of looking at videos on Mac, that's another thing that sold me on getting this camera. You know, now I don't have to worry about plugging the camera up to the outlet and then plugging a USB cord to the camera to the computer, or from the camera to the computer, should I say. Opening up my editor, turning on the camera, going to my video files and stuff like that on my camera, and then choosing the option to import from the camera inside the editor. I gotta wait about 15, 20, 30 minutes depending on how long the video is to import. And it's just a big ass hassle. By the time I did that, I've been wasted like an hour when I could have been spending that time editing or backing up my files. But with the G30, you no longer have to worry about that. You can take the memory card directly out the camera, plug it up to your Mac, and back up your files. So let's say if I record out in the field and I want to back up my files right away, bam, pop the memory card out, plug it up to my Mac, click on the memory card, drag the files to a folder, bam, there you go. Got my stuff backed up. I don't have to worry about waiting until I get home, plugging the camera up to the computer, importing the files, all that crap. I can get right to my editing more faster, and I can back up my stuff more easily. Now, it does have 2 memory card slots, no built-in memory on this in particular model, but I'm not really sweating it because I never was using the built-in memory anyways, because I heard it's a low bit rate with the built-in memory, so your quality of your video is going to look slightly degraded. So I always use memory cards anyways, and you can use 2 memory cards and put the camera inside RAID 0, which allows you to record on 2 memory cards at the same time, which I think is called a RAID 0 when you do that on your PC, where you have 2 hard drives and anything you do records on 2 hard drives at the same time. So you can do the same thing with this camera, and you can do the same thing with the G10 and G30, and G20, should I say. Just like the G10, this bad boy has a lot of video settings. I think the G10 has slightly more settings than this one, because I ran through the settings like 5 or 10 times, and there's some things I think I see that's missing that was inside the G10. But these G series camcorders from Canon have so many settings. That's why the price point on these cameras are so much. Just to touch back on the video functionality of the Canon G30 again, it does record an MP4 codec, but it also records in AVC HD, which is, you know, what most camcorders do, especially by Canon. AVC HD. I heard that AVC HD does look slightly better than MP4, and it sounds better with the sound quality than MP4, I heard, you know. But you have the option with this one to either record in MP4 or AVC HD. MP4, you have the option of recording at 1080p at 60 frames per second, which, you know, does good if you want to do some slow down work, some slow motion type stuff, you know. And every video I've been recording has been in MP4. And I gotta say, the video quality looks way better. I wouldn't say way better, but it looks better. I noticed the difference from the Canon G10. Canon did a real good job on this camera. It's not just a rehash of the G20 and G10. It's actually a full-fledged remodeling of those cameras. Now on to the extra batteries I got. I got some extra capacity batteries. This one came with a 2-pack, and it lasts for about, each one lasts for roughly 220 minutes, but it comes with 2 batteries. The one I had on my G10 came with 1 battery, and that 1 battery lasted 520 minutes. So I say, you know, it's the same amount of time, but you're just using, it's just 2 batteries, 2,670 milliamps. And yeah, man, it does a good job. You know, like I said, on my G10, I never even used the Canon battery, and for this camera I'm not going to even use the Canon battery either. I'm going to continue to use, you know, off-brand batteries. You know, shout out to everybody that makes very good batteries for these camcorders and DSLRs and stuff like that. That's not made by the manufacturer, because the manufacturer like to charge you 5 times the amount for their batteries. So everybody say, fuck that, you know, excuse the language, but you know, that's what we say, and we go with the off-brand batteries. So that's how these companies, these small companies, make their money, you know, by us, because we buy. I don't care, like, I'm not trying to show off, you know, how bigger pockets I got compared to other people when I'm out in the field. Like, yeah, look at my Canon gear. I got the Canon battery. I got the Canon this. I got the Canon that. I'm much better than you. No, I don't care. As long as I got something that works, and it works real good, and they did a good job at it, I'm going to use that. As far as, you know, small accessories, of course I won't use something big, major, and use an off-brand product. But as far as batteries, these companies do a very good job, and I'd be damned if I paid $250 for a Canon high capacity battery versus 60 or 70 bucks. So no. And also the memory card I buy super expensive memory cards. You know, my memory cards are not cheap that I buy. You know, I make sure I get the best of the best. I don't go with the off-brand when it comes to memory cards, because that's the most important thing to your filming. If you can get the most best shots in the world, if you got a jacked up ass memory cards, all that is for nothing. You've been to waste of the whole video shoot. And if you did some work for a client, you've been the freaking lost money and made a wife, or you know, a person's birthday party person very, very angry at you, you know, that you lost their footage and it's lost forever because you had a jacked up memory card. So when it comes to my memory cards, I don't go cheap. My SanDisk Extreme Pro series I use for my DSLR, just for a 32 gigabyte, costs you around $80 to $100. You know, that's just for a 32 gigabyte memory card. This memory card I'm using, it's not an Extreme Pro, but it's the one right up under it, 64 gigabytes. This one cost me around 70 bucks. You know, I think it was, I popped the price up on screen. I think I got it for a little bit cheaper. It was on sale, I believe. But yeah, these memory cards are not cheap, you know, but you know, they're that much for a reason. Like the Extreme Pro is X-ray proof, waterproof, shock proof, freezer proof, heat proof. It protects your data, you know. What else can I say? You know, you don't want to go cheap. And then also with these cameras these days that output a high megabits per second and stuff like that, you don't want your camera to be stopping while you're recording, you know, because that's what happened to me before. I had like a cheaper memory card using my DSLR for videos, and it would stop recording after like 3 minutes, or sometimes after just as soon as I press record, it just stopped or whatever, because it just can't handle, the memory card can't handle that fast data that's transferring to it so fast. So with this one, since it's a video camera, and this camera don't go way beyond 45 megabits per second or megabytes per second, then it's not really that big of a deal for me to get the super high Extreme Pro that does 89 or 87, something around there, you know, because it's not that serious. So I went ahead and got this one and got the bigger memory. So with this memory card, it gives me over 5 hours of record time, about 5 hours and 45 minutes of record time on the highest well, not the highest quality, because right now I'm recording at 30 frames per second, but if I were to go to 60 frames per second, it probably gives me around 500 hours. I mean 500 hours, wow, 5 hours, or a little bit under 5 hours. But the one right up under, which is at 30 frames per second, 1080p, gives me about 5 hours and 45 minutes. So with that said, people of YouTube, I hope you guys like this unboxing. If you're on the fence about should you get the G30 or should you go ahead and get the G20, I say spend the money and get the G30, depending on your situation. You know, I had a lot of reasons why I went with the G30. Even when it comes down to the ports, I like that the headphone jack and the line out jack is two different sockets now. Because before, if you want to plug up headphones, you got to make sure that you go into the settings and choose headphones instead of line out, because line out goes out to the TV, and if you got the wrong one selected, you probably get this loud ass buzzing noise in your ear and stuff, and or on the camera. So you gotta, you know, but now you got dedicated sockets for each one of those separately. I like where everything is located. I like that it comes with the hot shoe that normally comes with it, and also a cold shoe that so you can put accessories on and stuff like that. So I like that. So me personally, what would I be using this camcorder for? I'll be using it for the same stuff I use my G10 for, and that is for my talk shows, my vlogs, my behind the scene footage, and also some, you know, creative videos as well. Because like my G10, I utilize my DVC 210 camera crane by Pro-Am, and I utilized that with my video camera and made some unique videos, which I'm also doing with the G30. And speaking of, I got this remote that I use also, so I can zoom in and zoom out while the camera's on the crane, and I was hoping that it works on my G30, and it does. So with that said, I was worried about using my remote on a G30, worried about if I'm going to be able to turn off and on the camera remotely using a remote plugged up to the camera with the camera off, because I was able to do that on my G10. But this has a actual physical switch that you got to switch up to turn on the camera. So I tested out. I plugged up my remote. I had the camera on the off position by moving the switch to the off position. I pressed the on button on that remote and the camera turned on, even though the switch was in the off position on the Canon G30. That impressed me, and I pressed the off button on the switch and it turned off. So I'm still able to use the camera while it's inside the off position, as long as I got that remote plugged up to the camera. I'm able to zoom in, zoom out. So when I use my camera crane, not only can I utilize these unique shots and zoom in, zoom out, I can turn it off and on without going all the way up to the camera, pressing the on button, walk back, and then, you know, it's not a huge hassle, but it's good to have it where you can turn off and on the camera using a remote switch using that crane. So as I said, just like my G10, I'll be using this camera, the G30, to record my vlogs, to record my behind the scene footage, to record my talk shows, even to record some wedding footage like I have done before on my G10, sports, record even creative videos, like I said, utilizing my crane and stuff like that. But for my super high-end videos, I always go with my DSLR because it's way more crisp, you know, than video cameras, unless you got a $5,000, $6,000 video camera. Other than that, I always go with my DSLR, you know, to shoot my creative videos, like my music videos. I would never use this camera for a music video ever. Maybe for one shot, maybe with the crane, if it's like a crazy movement shot and I can't pull focus with my hand on the DSLR and I gotta pull focus, it's mandatory, then that's the only way I would use a video camera, so it can stay in autofocus, you know. But other than that, yeah, man, it's been your boy Emily. Thank you guys for watching this unboxing. Subscribe because there's more to come, and I'm out. Peace.